All right, I think we're live.
Hello.
Hey, I'm going to introduce you and I'm going to pass it off to you. All right. So, folks and friends, I do want to let everyone know before we start the next run that we have made the donation incentive for the Super Mario Brothers 3 bonus run live that has a $50 goal to unlock that incentive. And so you can donate to that at any point. And coming up here, just about ready to begin, we will have Justincredible doing Mega Man X2, and you can count it off to start the timer whenever you're ready, Justin.
Okay, so let's get ready to go. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to let Darren handle the commentary. So take it away, Darren.
Good luck, Justin. Dude, I love this intro song. It's so good. And we'll be hearing it again. It plays in the final stage. But nice thing about the intro is there's actually 0 RNG involved in the stage and the boss. And it's a really short stage too. Oh no, the crane. Sometimes that crane can be hard to jump around, but he gets the gap jump right after, so makes up for it. But the first boss is the giant CFO mechanoid, however he's called. I can't quite remember exactly the name, but it's CF0. And you'll see him shooting a lemon away from the boss, and he's using that travel time from the lemon to the boss to get another charge ready. And that's pretty much where that strat comes from, or I guess the name of the strat comes from this boss. But you'll see it a lot. Other people have called it like a Doppler effect, which kind of explains it a little better, I guess, because you're using that travel time to get a next charge ready. I can't remember how much that's used in X2, actually. I know for like Centipede, you use a chain, CFO a little bit, but definitely in X3, there's a lot of it. But first stage is Sponge. Good old wire sponge, the sea cucumber. And this is 100%, so first upgrade we're getting is the secret heart up there in the top left corner. And then directly after that, we're getting the sub-tank. And this upcoming section, you'll notice there's some different weather patterns that can happen here. This first weather pattern he's getting is rainy, which is what you don't want, because it actually slows down X's forward speed. And he gets 2 of them. Oh boy. But it can also be clear or sunny. Ideally, you'd want it double clear. Well, I guess clear and then sunny to clear. But if you get sunny on like the first pattern, you can diminish some of the lag by shooting some of the enemies out of your way. Alright, so first boss is Sponge, and he is pretty much, he's a big RNG factor in this game. Him and Centipede are pretty much what this game is known for RNG wise, because he has this move that you can see where he latches onto the ceiling, and while he's latched onto that ceiling you can get shots on him. If at a certain point where his health is low, he'll become angry and dance around and it wastes a bunch of time, but if he's up in the air like that, that doesn't happen, so nice. That's a good pattern. Yeah, got the gap jump, the rest doesn't matter. That run's already an A+. Alright, next stage is Wheel Gator. So I haven't really talked much about the differences between any percent and 100% yet, and it won't become obvious until after this stage, actually. But so far, the route's the same. And any percent, you basically get all the upgrades as well, because you want to get the Shoryuken at the end to make the refight section a lot faster. So it kind of looks like 100%, but it's not really, because there's actually 3 0 parts that you need to collect for it to truly be 100%. Basically, the story goes that after X1, 0 dies, but you can recover his parts to have him rebuilt by Dr. Kane. But if you don't recover those parts, actually Sergeus will rebuild him and try to turn him evil, and you fight him at the end of the game in any percent. But since you rebuild him, you actually don't fight him in 100%. So having the strike chain, it's a really cool weapon. You can pull yourself forward and do a really cool strat there, just barely getting on top of those spikes there to wall kick up to the heart. So we already got the Buster upgrade too, so the charge chain is just obviously a longer chain. And that's like part of why the speedrun is probably as popular as it is the strike chain. Like the movement tech for it is like really cool and impressive. But that's only one part of what makes the speedrun so cool. You'll be seeing later when we get the burner dash that the two combined with each other makes for some really sick movement tech. Alright, next boss up here is Wheel Gator. Easy peasy. It's actually not as hard as it looks. There's a 4 to 5 frame window, I believe, where when Wheel Gator, after his iframes expire and he turns his head forward, you can just hit another chain off and infinite combo him. And as you saw, he carried his charge through the door as well, so he not really buffered, but he shot that first chain right as the fight starts, and you're still charging at that point. So then your second chain is a charge chain. You get a extra hit in there. So it's basically the cutscene showing who the X-Hunters are, or in the Japanese version, Counter Hunters. And Dr. Kane is basically telling you, hey, you should go fight them. They probably got some goodies for you. Let's go get those 0 parts. But obviously, like I said, in any percent, you would ignore it. But here, we're going to get them. So it's 3 optional fights. Violin, the one with the giant mace ball, looks pretty similar to the second time that you fight him. There's just like a little bit of difference in the fact that he like spawns little like platforms. But Sergeus and Agile look like significantly different than what you fight in their second forms. So Stag Stage is a lot of climbing. This would be like akin to Quanger in X1, I guess. It's the climb stage. And here he's going to use this big beetle thing to break open that and come up to the boss gate. So each of the levels has like a little hidden boss gate that you can go to that's kind of like off the normal path. And that's where these counter hunters are. This one is Sergeus. So this is a nice strat. It's not like super recent that people started doing this, but like kind of recent, I guess. But you can just infinite combo him with dash lemons, which is pretty nice. If he jumps around and like shoots his projectiles, he can get super laggy. Justin loved that. But yeah, that was a good fight. Alright, coming up is Flame Stag. There's a few different ways to go about this fight. There's the pretty common, most basic method where you mostly stay to the ground, which I think is what we're going to see Justin be doing. The nice thing about this, actually, is because it baits out more fireballs. So actually, that's a good showcase of that. More fireballs, let's go. The fireball save you a lot of time because his iframes reset a little bit faster. There's different fights that you can do where you actually climb up with him that are more, I guess, consistent in the sense that they're faster, but if you do the ground fight, you do have more chances for fireballs. Alright, next up is Ostrich. So this is actually where the route deviates from the any percent route. And the reason for that is the counter hunter placement. They don't actually, it's not that you can go to any stage and that just that they'll appear. That you notice on the map screen that they'll kind of like teleport down and show you where they're going to be. So you have to obviously go to the stage where they're at. And if you go to Centipede right now, after that, or like if you take the normal any percent route, you're gonna end up having to fight a counter hunter in Crystal Snail stage, and that boss room for Crystal Snail is like really slow to get to. It's like one of the ones that's most off the normal path. Nice, didn't crash the bike. It's a tight strat. You turn the bike there. Which is interesting too, because I feel like that would be like the actual intended method to get that, other than just burning over there, I guess, and dying. But I'm sure the developers intended you to use the bike and get over there and turn it, which is pretty sweet. All right, let's see some epic mashing from Justin. Holy, how's he doing it? He even scratched his nose while he's mashing. How does he do it? Down the missile. So he doesn't actually have the weakness for Ostrich yet. So this is going to be a Buster duel, doing the dash lemons for the 2 damage. And he's getting some jumps, which is nice. Not quite taking advantage of him, but that's okay. But as soon as Ostrich gets to the top of his jump, his iframes reset, so you can get some quicker hits in. Actually remember what's next for this route. I want to say, yeah, it's Crab. Yeah, because now you have the boots and you can do neon jumps. So that kind of reminds me, because there's like a neon jump you can do right before the counter hunter boss room. Looked like it, stream got hicked up a little bit, but that's okay. Now we're back. Does a nice little jump right there. Oh no, he forgot. Well, maybe he didn't forget to switch to burner, but did a little late. Oops. But that wall kick right there is a little tricky to get for sure. So that's to get the heart tank. And then up here is to get the sub tank. And then instead of going straight in to where Crab is, he's going to be going up. And this is the deviation. So yeah, you do a neon jump there to get up there a little bit faster. And he's going to start this fight with a second neon shot, because the second neon shot does 4 damage when it like fully hits. And since you're going to be doing this fight with dash lemons, it kind of saves you a dash lemon. So yeah, this is Violin with a giant mace ball. This fight is pretty similar to the second time you fight him. It's just that he's a little bit like weaker and he's a little bit easier to fight. And he also takes more damage with the dash lemons. Whereas the second time, he does not take extra damage from dash lemons. But we also have a bubble by that point, so we can actually use his weakness. Speaking of bubbles, let's get some bubbles. I never get bubbles. Oh, nice. Very, very nice fight. That's the Gamio crab. I can't remember the full name of it. I wish I did. It's pretty awesome. But basically how that works is the charged wheel, when it shoots, there is a lingering hitbox in the center. The petals kind of fly out in all directions, but that center is like still active until all the petals come off screen. So you hit him with the petal and then have him purposely jump into that like lingering center hitbox, and you can get double hits in like that. All right, now we're on to Magna Hyakulegger, which is the centipede. How many leggers is Hyaku? How many leggers does centipede have? It's the big question. Is it Hyaku? Using the chain there, that's actually a little bit different than any percent, and I believe it would be faster too, because the chain pulls you forward pretty darn fast, and it's faster than the charge burner speed. Or was it different? Maybe it just looked different to me. I don't know. I think I misspoke on that one. I think you always charge chain right there. Anyway, oh, it's probably because he didn't air dash. That's why it looked weird to me. Alright, here's the mid boss. He's weak to the burner. And if you don't get any ammo drops or anything after you kill this, after you kill this mid boss, you'll have exactly one burner left for this final hallway. Nice little zip on the block. That thing can kill you if you're not careful. Alright, this is the other big RNG factor. Everybody's favorite boss, the centipede. So let's see what pattern we get. And we get first try, tailspin. So really nice. Sponge and centipede were really, really nice this run. This is the tailspin glitch. After his tail fragments come off and then they come to circle around X, before they do that, they kind of go off screen, and then when you dash jump against that right wall and slide down it, it'll kind of make their, I'm not sure how I would word it, I guess their trajectory or something or whatever, it kind of like misaligns, so then they never actually come back and start circling around X for Centipede to finish the attack. And then yeah, you just use charge shots, and then you do a little CFO strat with the chain, because that does 2 damage. That's its soft weakness. It makes that fight really fast. Stage is definitely, as you can tell, one of the stages that really shows off the chain to burner combo. You're like constantly switching back and forth. There's a mini boss skip. Poor guy, nobody likes him in any category. Except for X2 all bosses. Which is totally a real category and not a joke. But now we're getting the head capsule. It shows you where secret stuff is. So that life up over to the left, you can actually get through like a secret wall, and it shows you. But even more important than that, it also goes beep beep. So, really cool weapon. Or, I guess not really a weapon, but a power-up. Alright, here's Snail. Pretty cool quick kill on this guy. So this fight can be like 100% scripted, as long as Justin pulls it off the right way. With a buffered lemon into the neon shot, one dash lemon, and then he uses the positioning of the magnet mine after it hits Snail to use this charged magnet mine, and basically just get him into that corner with each hit, and the damage lines up really well for a pretty cool quick kill. And I believe that is almost 8 mevs. We got one more. Unless I forgot one. No, there's one more. So this is where we fight Agile. And the boss room, like the secret boss room in this stage, is like not off the path at all. Like it's actually pretty close, which is nice compared to a lot of the other ones. So go up and get the heart. And then probably the only upgrade in this game that you would really actually need the beep beep to find casually, because you gotta break that open with the spinning wheel. And this is the armor upgrade. So it gives you the Giga Crush attack, which looks cool, but isn't really all that efficient at doing much of anything. So we don't really ever use it. Alright, time for the Gustavo manip. Gustavo. Ah, well, close. Maybe I didn't say it good enough. Alright, so here's the secret boss room. It's right here where this ladder is. And there it is. So now we're fighting Agile, and we have Magnet Mine, which is his weakness. And I forget exactly how this fight goes. But yeah, he can do that attack where he kind of dashes forward with his sword. But yeah, I think he just hug the wall. Just keep doing mines if he stays there. Like, I mean, he's got some attacks, I guess, but yeah, that's the fight. Another thing I didn't mention actually is that this state is very laggy as well, and the lag is kind of random, sort of, and I think it's based on like the garbage that's flying and like the enemies and stuff. I'm not exactly sure. I forgot my Gustavo, but it was the same as last time. It was the tiny hop. Which the tiny hop's not bad. The only move that you really don't want is for him to do the giant leap. Alright, this is Morph. He has two different forms to him. In this first form, he's kind of just his cocoon. And his weakness being burner, as you can tell, kind of burns him. Oh no! Oops. He got hit and missed one of his charge burners. So he went down to the ground, and he'll start throwing up garbage while he's doing that. He's actually invulnerable. So that was 8 mavs. And now we're on to the counter hunter stages. Thankfully in X2, unlike X1, there are no revisits that we need to do in order to get 100% of the items and 0 parts. Unlike X3 too, actually. X3 has some revisits. So X2 is really nice in the fact that it's like very streamlined in the route. It's a very cool speed run. Counter Hunter 1 is probably one of the hardest stages for sure to like really do optimally. There's a lot of different weapon swapping going on, a lot of climbing. You basically use like every single weapon except for like the charged silk shot. So it's pretty impressive. I'm surprised that little guy didn't die right there. I guess you don't use a charged magnet mine either. But we're coming up to the end of the stage. You'll notice that the counter stages in this game are actually kind of short, but they have a lot in them, like movement-wise. All right, here's our second form violin. There's a lot more. It's a lot easier this time. The charge bubble. Especially in 100%, well, and any percent too, where you have all of the health and all of the armor upgrades. You don't really have to worry much about this boss with the charge bubble. Yeah, you raise the roof once, I like that, Justin. But other than that, pretty good fight. Really the only bad thing that can happen in that fight is it'll get really laggy. But there wasn't quite as much lag that time. Alright, this stage has an infamous trick known as the elevator skip, where you have to dash under one of the platforms, which is very close to some spikes. So, let's see Justin pull it off. Easy peasy. And then you take a damage boost right here on the top burner there to finish out that climb. Alright, so this fight's interesting because we can actually take out 2 of the cannons in the middle before the fight even starts by firing off that charged magnet mine and then moving it up and down right before the fight starts. And then you just go in with a couple silk shots and take out the other 2. And nice, gets a double hit right off the start. Got trolled by one of those little green balls, but still gets the second double hit too, very nice. Does not get the last one though. Still pretty decent. So his weakness is charged slicer. And if you hit him pretty much like right in line with his face, but not too close to him, you can hit him, but not have the slicers like despawn, I guess. And then they'll go up and then hit him a second time. Come back down and hit him a second time. Yeah, it can be pretty tricky to do, but thankfully those little platforms that go up and down you can line your feet on. And kind of give you the right positioning for it. Alright, on to Counter Hunter 3. Got some neon jumps in this stage. Stage with the most neon jumps, actually. And I won't really get into neon jumps honestly right now because you're going to be seeing a lot more of them in the next run. So I'm sure Justin will be talking about them. Oh no, he dropped 2 of them. He needs to get up here to get the Shoryuken in this little secret room. So this is our final upgrade. This satisfies the 100% requirement. We got all 3 0 parts, all the upgrades, and now the Shoryuken. And we have the perfect boss to test out our new weapon that we just got. And this is the second form of Agile, which I don't know if you remember, but I said that Agile and Staircase look quite different from their first forms. This one especially. So yeah, there's a Shoryuken. It's not quite like the Hadouken, where it does the full 32 damage on the first hit. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we get to the refights coming up next. So we found the Counter Hunter's secret lab where they've been holding the Mavericks. And so now we gotta fight them all over again. It's very exciting. But this time they're gonna be a lot faster. So the thing with the Shoryuken is that its first frame of contact only does 8 damage. And then every frame after that, it does 16. So essentially, in order to do all of the boss's health, you have to get 3 frames of contact on the boss. Which sounds like it would be easy, right? Because 3 frames, that's a very, very small amount of time. But as you can see, some of the hitboxes on these bosses aren't really the best for it. They're kind of like short, and you can miss that 3rd frame sometimes. He gets the jump. So that's not a rare pattern necessarily, but it doesn't happen that often, where Crab actually will jump forward, and it allows you to do the Shoryuken pretty much right away. Whereas if he doesn't do that, you actually have to bait him to do a jump, meaning you have to dash jump over to him, over top of him. And obviously it takes a little bit of a longer time to do that. Whoa, he gets a sponge jump too, but I don't know if he was quite ready for it, or if the lemon was just a mistake. Justin is just loving this run. doing some disco with Sponge there. I like it. He's on the left side. I don't know if I've really seen that many times, but gets the frame perfect. He even mouths the words frame perfect. Nice. Alright, we're going for Icy Hot. Let's go. Nice. I think that was all. I've never actually learned Icy Hot myself, especially the newer version of it. But there's like 3 different buffers that happen like all at once, I'm pretty sure, when you do that strat. So it's pretty cool. Alright, this fight's a little tricky because Gator's a very short boss, and his hitbox. Oh no! Gator went under the water. So usually you would do a few chain hits. And then do the Shoryuken, so that you'll hit the first and second frame, but not the 3rd frame, but still kill him. But thankfully after he came back out, he did like the jump spinning attack. Justin says I'm left-handed. That's why he does the left Shoryuken? Alright, alright. Oh, nice. Gets the snail kill. That one's pretty tough too, to get all 3 frames of the Shoryuken in. Alright, so that was the refights. We're on to the last stage. And we get to listen to the epic intro song once more. That Sigma was hiding underneath, or I guess Sigma's secret lab or computer or whatever was hidden in a Centipede stage. So we have to return. And it looks like he's in the center, I think. So we'll probably be seeing an interesting little glitch here. Because usually in any percent you'd be fighting Zero here because you don't have the Zero parts, but since we collected them, Zero goes ahead and defeats his little imposter that Sigma has. Ooh, just barely. So because he's short, you can enter the room like that. This cutscene starts while he's falling. So Zero's text box is up. And that allows him to not take any damage from the Wolverine Sigma here, which is very strange. I don't remember exactly why that happens, but as you can tell, he didn't get hit, so yeah. It's actually a little bit faster than what you would do in any percent too, because you'd have to like bait out a certain attack and then sure you can instead of just like literally jumping over there and doing it. The one hitter. Oh, called it. Nice run. GG, Justin. So yep, that was X 200%. A lesser seen category for sure when it comes to X2.
Yeah, this is actually, I think, the first showcase of X2 Hundo in any marathon that I'm aware of.
Nice.
Quick explanation on that invincibility. What happens is when you normally clear the text after Zero blows the hole up for you, like you're supposed to get movement. That's how I got movement before the fight actually started. And then you do an SRK at the moment his HP fills, and you're stuck in that state of invincibility until you do another SRK. So you're invincible until you do a Shoryu. So you want to make that one free Shoryu you have count.
Oh, so you have to Shoryuken into it for it to...
Yeah, you have to gain invincibility, and then the first frame that the fight starts, you're stuck in that state. So, yeah, you're basically untouchable. And then once you do an SRK, the game will put you out of invincibility. But that's X2, and stay tuned, because I will be on the mic for Darren's X3 run coming up next. So stick around. X Block continues at Buckeye Speed Bash.
Let's go.